WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. President Biden in Vietnam talking about new business partnerships, including an Arizona Semiconductor Company's new factory and Boeing selling planes to Vietnam Airlines.
Everyone in both our countries is working to make sure that people, no matter who they are, can seize potential.
The president's on his way to Alaska now on this 22nd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks.
Nearly 3,000 lives were lost on that tragic day in New York City, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Memorial events are planned across the country to honor the victims. President Biden will commemorate the attacks on his way home from the G20 summit at a military base in Anchorage, Alaska.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Day 12 in Pennsylvania, the manhunt for escaped murderer Danilo Cavalcante. Police say he has abandoned a stolen dairy truck he used to leave the initial search area. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
And a good morning to you. I guess I got to push the right buttons there.
Yeah, it sounds better.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better. And silence is not always golden on radio. It's a death wish. I'm Rayford Brown.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
And question for you guys right up front. Where were y'all on this date? The 11th of September. The year was 2001. 22 years ago. Where were you that morning? What were you doing? We'd like to hear from you this morning. Our number is 910-333-0139. Just share with us your thoughts, what you experienced, and how has it worked out since that time? Obviously, just a little bit before 9 o'clock, it was a Tuesday morning, clear, beautiful morning in New York City. An American Airlines Boeing 767 had 20,000 gallons of jet fuel on board, crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. The impact left a gaping, burning hole near the 80th floor of the 110-story skyscraper, instantly killing hundreds of people and trapping hundreds more in high floors. The evacuation of the tower and its twin got underway. Television cameras were running live, and they caught the what initially appeared to be a freak accident. Then a second Boeing 767 United 5 appeared out of the sky, turned sharply toward the Trade Center, and sliced into the South Tower at about the 60th floor. The collision caused a massive explosion that showered burning debris over surrounding buildings and the streets below. America was under attack. The attackers, those who were aboard the planes, not the passengers, but those who slipped aboard the planes, were Islamic terrorists from Saudi Arabia and several other Arab nations, financed by Saudi fugitive Osama bin Laden's Al-Qaeda terrorist organization. They were acting in retaliation for America's support of Israel, its involvement in the Persian Gulf War, and its continued military presence in the Middle East. Some of the terrorists had lived in the United States for more than a year and had taken flying lessons in American commercial flight schools. Others had slipped into the United States in the months before September 11th and acted as the muscle in the operation. 19 terrorists easily smuggled box cutters and knives through security at 3 East Coast airports and boarded 4 flights bound for California, chosen because the planes were loaded with fuel for the long transcontinental journey. Soon after takeoff, the terrorists commandeered the 4 planes and took the controls, transforming the ordinary commuter jets into guided missiles. A day in history that will live in my memory for as long as I'm alive.
Yes. It's probably one of the saddest days ever. To watch our country being attacked.
I watched it being attacked because I was television news director at the time in Wilmington. And news directors are watching all channels during the morning news time, drive times, and everything else. Got them on in the background everywhere, every network, all the feeds that were coming in. And I remember them talking about it, and I looked up and I saw smoke, and I'm like, what in the Sam Hill? No, somebody said, it's probably a small plane. I said, small planes have hit those towers before.
Right.
You're aware of that, right?
Right. No, I
And they
wasn't
just
aware of
bounced off,
that.
basically. They did
Right.
not penetrate. This had to be something big, a missile or an airplane. Once they just showed footage of the planes coming in. No, this was not an accident. This was not, no way in the world. Even after the first one, I said, we're under attack. We locked the doors at the TV station. No one's going to get in
Really?
unless we know who they are. All sorts of things were going through our minds. For instance, are we live up there?
Yes, it's
Okay,
just
those pop-ups.
a pop-up.
And anyway, you have things like we live here at near the state ports. I mean, that's where the station was a block from the state ports. We had the Sunny Point
It's true.
Army Munitions Terminal just down the creek a little bit, down at Southport. And we have a nuclear power plant right there. Hello.
Mm.
What if they did something like that there? And of course, we have Camp Lejeune.
Yeah, and they went on high alert.
Oh,
and
everybody-
locked the base down.
Everybody was on high alert.
It
And,
was it was a scary day.
it was.
The next few days after were so scary
were.
also.
And
I remember being at work and somebody saying something, and we all turned on our computers and started watching it throughout the day.
it's
It's just unbelievable.
I can't even describe what thoughts that went through my head. I could envision like Red Dawn. Remember that movie?
Yes.
I could envision the parachutes coming in for an invasion. I could see that in my head.
I think I was just more in shock by what I was seeing on the TV news and watching on the tube, the devastation and the destruction, the people running for their lives.
Yes.
It was just the scariest thing I think I ever seen in my life.
The next year for the Azalea Festival, two of the special guests at the Azalea Festival were two of the firefighters that were working that day.
The very next year at the 4th of July festival that the base has, they had a lot of firefighters and police officers from New York City.
Yeah.
I remember we had quite a few sitting with us at the table, at our table, and just the stories they told.
Yeah.
You just sat there and bawled all night long.
One of the firefighters, Jerry Riley, we became fairly decent acquaintances, friends, if you will, from afar. And we talked a few times. I've got a flag in there that with his picture on it that was he's the one that made the billboard with his whole cover face was covered, and so he brought that down and signed it for me, and I've got it up there on display in the other part of the house.
Got our picture today.
And it was a day. It was just one of those days. And Jerry also hooked me up because the year later, just before the anniversary, it was in August of 2022. I went to New York, and one of the fire chiefs, he wrote a book called Last Man Down. He and about a dozen others, firefighters, a couple of civilians, police officers, after the towers went down, they were alive. They had made their way to a stairwell and wrote it down all the way down. He wrote a book.
Oh, wow.
I talked about that. If you were watching TV that day, I think it was early afternoon. Suddenly all cameras went to the pile of rubble, and there were people starting to come out from a hole at the top, near the top, and started walking their way down the outside. He describes in that book, in no uncertain terms, what was going on inside and how they felt and what was happening. It's a good book. I've got it. And he's the one that gave me the tour that day in August, almost a year later, 11 months later. And I got to, I was carrying TV camera the whole time. And I was interviewing not only him, but other people. The firefighter, they had given us, he had a van. And that's how we move around from station to station. And but he didn't drive it. They always assigned a driver, or another firefighter. This big city. And the firefighter that they assigned, I asked him if he was working that day. No, I was at the doctor's office. The one of the squads, everybody in that squad was killed that day except him, because he was including the guy that took his place who came in from off duty.
Must
to
be
work for
really
him.
hard on him.
And he went there. Oh man, that tore me up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I urge anyone who's not been by the Beirut Memorial Gardens
Oh yes.
to go look at that beam that's over there. There is a piece of the beam that is from one of the Twin Towers
Yeah.
that is erected out there at Beirut Memorial, and gives you a lot to think about.
That day, I was walking around the site because he had full access, and it was like all these people standing around watching as they were cleaning up the debris, still cleaning it up a year later, of course.
Imagine.
And everybody was in hushed tones, unlike
Yes.
New York. I've never been in New York where that many people
Mm.
were that quiet. Never, ever.
Mm.
There were a lot of New Yorkers there. Don't get me wrong. They kept visiting every day, lots of them, as I learned. And I know you'll recall seeing the nearby church that had all of the pictures and all the stuff. Have you
Yes.
seen this person? Had
Oh,
pictures of-
yes.
I was there.
Really?
I went up there to that.
I mean,
Stuff was still there.
Wow.
It was there almost a year later, 11 months later.
That's
Debris, a surfboard was there because one of the people that was missing or killed, I forgot which, was a surfer, an avid surfer. They put his surfboard there.
Now, once you visited and you came home, did you sit there and reflect back
Oh, yeah,
on how lucky
absolutely.
you were
Absolutely.
to be able to get up and go to work, go home, have a nice meal on the table,
For sure.
have family and friends to talk to?
Every day since.
Phew.
Almost 3,000 people perished that day in a matter of 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I had written an email right after 9/11, sometime that morning or early afternoon, from a former coworker. He and I used to work together as reporters at another TV station there in Wilmington. And he was had reenlisted. He was full-time Army National Guard. He had been Army Guard here. He was also a Vietnam vet, member of the Army. And he was, I think, a lieutenant colonel by this time. And he was supposed to have been at the Pentagon that day. He wasn't. His office was a few blocks away. He was sending me pictures
Oh, mercy.
from his office looking out over the Pentagon with all the smoke coming up. It was a day. It was a day when America was brought to its knees. I immediately thought of my sister and brother-in-law. They were at Quantico
Mm-hmm.
because that's where he was assigned at that time. He's a Marine pilot, and he was at that time a pilot with his CO, in fact, of Marine One unit, HMX-1. And of course, I wanted to know where he was. Bush was down in Florida. I think he was in a classroom at the time,
Yes, he was.
reading to little kids. And I got a call, and I checked in, and of course, a lot of the pilots for the president lived aboard Quantico, and their houses were immediately cordoned off, their homes. They had MPs there. That's what my sister told me that day. And a couple of days later, when Bush, of course, he zigzagged across the country in Air Force One as soon as they got airborne. All planes were ordered to the ground except military. If you'll remember that day, I had the air tracker, flight tracker
Oh, yeah.
system up,
You know, I'm a big.
and I watched
watcher.
them just disappear.
Oh my God.
All of them just,
So freaky.
and I'm like, really? Good golly. People were trapped in other locations because they couldn't get home. A lot of them rented vehicles. And Bush, of course, he made his way across the country, a couple of different directions. And they pilot called to whatever base it was. I think it was in Alabama or whatever. And he called in as Air Force One, and I'm coming in for a landing, clear the runway. And that's
So many stories.
that's where he went. And then he got back to Washington. He said, I'm not going to stay away from D.C. Take me home. And they took him home. And then a couple of days later, my brother-in-law flew him into New York, did the hop
Right.
from the airport to downtown. And when he started to land, I did not know it was him because he flies on the right side of the plane. The helicopters always land on the left side facing the crowds. So that's where they get off, right?
I see. Yes.
But that day, I didn't see him. You get to see the co-pilot. Then the plane, suddenly the helicopter picks up, turns around, and sits back down with the president getting off on the riverside away from the crowd
Oh,
until
Makes
they could,
sense,
until
yes.
the Secret Service guys and everybody else out there with guns could make sure that there was nobody in that big crowd that was popping their heads up, getting ready for something.
such a solemn day.
It was.
You got me all in my feels already.
And we would love to hear from you. Where were you? What were your thoughts then and since then? 910-333-0139. We go ahead and take a break here and do a little bit of weather, and we'll come back and talk about a ball game too on Friday night.
Yay.
Coming up this morning at 8 o'clock, we're going to be visited by the one, the only,
Our buddy.
our buddy,
Yes.
Chris Rayner from Sports Talk, Friday mornings on WSME. He's going to stop by. I got a couple of questions to ask him about the Friday night ball game, and we'll talk to you about that too when we get back. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Everyone loves shopping online. Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my golf buddies when they buy clubs. Stop searching for coupon codes. Download Capital One Shopping to your computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. Plus, it's free, and you don't even need a Capital One card to use it. That's like hitting a hole in one without even trying. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary. Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. Looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, is ready for summer, and you should be too, with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. These lawn tractors were engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility. Each machine features a strong deck with a variety of sizes available, designed to deliver a premium cut. An assortment of attachments and accessories sold separately allow you to use your mower for more than just cutting grass. Stop by Mills International Incorporated today and find out how the Cub Cadet XT Endurance Series is tailored to help unlock all the possibilities of your lawn. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street for exceptional offers, expert advice, and superior service.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
When vacationing on our beautiful Crystal Coast, you come for the slower pace, the gentle waves, the salty air, and the quality time with family and friends. So while you enjoy our little piece of paradise, let the Barrow Low Country Kitchen help with meals. We'd love to cater your next family event with one of our Carolina-style seafood boils, enough to feed your entire crew. Or enjoy your meal outside at our pavilion on the waterfront. Land or by boat to the Barrow Low Country Kitchen in downtown Swansboro.
Down East, heating and air conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986.
Down East is your local Bryant factory authorized dealer. Down East, Bryant, whatever it takes to keep you cool.
Down East, heating and air conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986. DownEastHeating.com.
Needing service on your present cooling system? Just call Down East. Looking to replace your cooling system in your home or office? Down East and Bryant is ready to do whatever it takes to keep you cool on these hot summer days. Ask about 0% interest for 60 months. Down East, Bryant, whatever it takes.
Down East, heating and air conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986. DownEastHeating.com.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
All ready-mix concrete jobs need finishing correctly, and KPT Masonry of Beulahville finishes concrete the right way. Whether you're finishing a driveway, custom patio, or even an outdoor kitchen pad, there's no concrete job too large or too small for KPT Masonry to finish to your satisfaction. KPT Masonry of Beulahville will finish your concrete professionally and on schedule. So let KPT Masonry of Beulahville finish your ready-mix concrete project this spring. For professional concrete finishing, call KPT Masonry of Beulahville, 910-284-0547. That's 910-284-0547 for KPT Masonry of Beulahville.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Today's Tuesday. Our sponsor for the marine forecast every day is Tideline Marine. They're closed today. They're closed every Monday. The doors will reopen Tuesday, and that will be a perfect time for you to check out the ship store. Virtually every time I work there, someone who has never stopped in will take a few minutes just to look at what Tideline has to offer. And just as amazingly, customers who haven't been in for a few months tell the folks at Tideline how much they like the new layout. There are more goodies and a better choice of goodies for fishermen and boaters. If you're new to the area, drop by someday just to look around and chat, ask questions, especially if you're new to saltwater fishing. The staff is happy to share whatever knowledge we have. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street, on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Strong, long-period swells from Hurricane Lee will impact the area through the rest of this week. Very large seas expected by late week as the swells peak on Friday as the cyclone passes well offshore. Rip currents will be prevalent, and anyone venturing into the surf, including surfers and fishermen, should be forewarned. Don't do it. Westerly winds offshore today, 5 to 10 knots, becoming southwesterly in the afternoon, seas 3 to 4 feet. Dominant period 14 seconds. 14 seconds. Nice, smooth, rolly waves. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Tomorrow, westerly winds around 5 knots, becoming southerly in the afternoon, 3 to 5 seas and sounds and rivers flat, increasing to a light chop in the afternoon. Westerly winds on Wednesday, 5 to 10 knots, becoming northerly, 10 to 15 after midnight, seas 5 to 7, sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop after midnight.
Oh my goodness. And today we have a 30% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 4 p.m., mostly sunny with a high near 87. Calm wind becoming southwest around 5 miles per hour in the afternoon. Tonight, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy with a low around 71. Tuesday, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., mostly sunny with a high near 88. Tuesday night, a low of 69. Wednesday, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., mostly sunny with a high near 86. And listen to this, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, lows in the mid 50s.
Mhm.
Open the windows.
Yeah. Okay, the 5 o'clock, 5 a.m. advisory for Hurricane Lee. The eye of the hurricane became a bit more ragged and less distinct overnight, but in recent satellite images, there appears to be some warming near the center once again. The latest objective and subjective satellite intensity estimates have leveled off due to recent fluctuations in the structure of the hurricane. The initial intensity right now has got 120 mile per hour sustained winds. It has begun slightly a turn. Slightly. It was on a solid west-northwest course, and it's more west than northwest, and it's beginning to move a little bit more towards the northwest, and it will continue doing that until sometime Wednesday, when it will likely level off by overnight Wednesday and hit for a due north or verdict close to a northerly course. That will keep it off of our shores. That'll
Yes.
keep it off of the United
Grateful.
States. It will be to the west of Bermuda, fairly close possibly, and they will have some impact. We're going to get some big swells. That's what I was just telling you from the advisory. We're going to get some fairly decent swells out there and lots of rip current. So please keep your butt on dry land. There's
Stay out of
no
the
reason to
water.
get out there and go playing around.
No.
If you do, the chances are, and there are no lifeguards on duty. There are no lifeguards on duty ever,
Yep.
but there are really no lifeguards on duty right now.
Labor Day, the beaches that do have them, Labor Day is generally the last
time.
day.
Yep. So right now, forget about it. Don't get in the water. Don't play around. This is not the week to do it.
And please stay out of the New River Inlet where
Oh,
it meets
please.
the ocean. Please stay out of there.
That water there drops from 4 inches to 30 feet in the length of a boat, of a 17-foot boat.
That's right. Exactly. It is just a very dangerous
It is.
area to swim. And there are no swimming signs up there. So heed caution.
Yeah, you can read. I'm sure you can read. Somebody taught you how.
It's a great place to fish.
Yes,
But stay out of the
just
water.
Don't get in the water. There's no need to wade out there so you can get another 3 feet further out in your cast. First
Okay.
of all, the fish are going to be real close to the beach,
That's right.
so there's no reason to get out there and do that.
That's
Just don't
right.
get silly. Same thing in the ocean. I know you put your waders on, or you put your boots on, or you walk out there in your shorts and your sandals or whatever, so you can get about 5 more feet. Well, rip currents can grab you right then and there.
That's right.
It's not an undertow, it's a rip current. And they take you out to sea, not down to the bottom. You put yourself on the bottom because you don't know what to do. You panic.
I think about all the times we as kids, we grew up going to Scotch Bonnet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about all the times we were out there in the water and how it start here and end up 25 feet down from where we started.
Yep.
We never knew about rip currents.
Yep.
I mean, nobody ever told us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We taught ourselves to swim too, so.
There are 3 other systems out there. One of them poses absolutely no possibility of doing anything. That's the one that's Margot. It's been on a northerly course since basically it was formed up. So it's not going to do anything.
I'll call her Margot. Margot got gone.
Yeah, Margot done gone.
Margot gone.
Now there's another one out there. This what they call disturbance number 1 has only a 10% chance of forming up into anything over the next 7 days. Now, tropical disturbance number 2 has just left the coast of Africa, and it has a 60% chance of forming up in 7 days. Nothing over the next couple of days. Some environmental conditions appear conducive, according to the National Hurricane Center, for gradual development of the system, and a tropical depression could form by the weekend when it moves westward to west-northwestward at about 15 to 20 miles per hour over the central tropical Atlantic. It's not there yet. We don't know what it's going to do. No reason to go out and buy a bunch of bread and water.
You'll have it eaten before
Y'all better
it
go eat that
forms.
bread and the water that you bought for Lee, is what I'm just going to tell
Yes.
you. Never too early to dust off whatever hurricane plan you got up through and including evacuation. That is always a possibility. So be prepared to have some sort of a plan in place. And if you, if you need to implement it, then good. You're way ahead of the game. But don't include a bunch of milk and water and what else? The bread. Why they buy bread? I don't know. How many sandwiches can you make?
I don't know. I know. Why is it everybody goes and just buys all the milk and bread?
I don't know. I'd rather have a bunch of canned soup or something.
Right. And I learned I buy the powdered milk if I need milk for an occasion like that.
Okay.
Mix it with water and store it in your ice chest, and it tastes just as good as a regular milk, but I don't have to worry about milk going bad. I don't drink milk much
I don't
anyway.
either. I just use it for cooking for
Yes,
the most part.
same with me.
Okay.
Good news on the tropics anyway.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Let's go to Friday night.
Oh, yes.
Robbie and Lee and I, we
Da-da-da-da-da.
took in the Jacksonville High game on Friday night again. The Cardinals hosted the Stallions of West Carteret High School.
Patriots.
Yeah, somebody. They hosted
That's okay.
the other people from West Carteret. As it was with the Cardinals' last game 2 weeks ago with White Oak, the Cards won the coin toss, but chose to kick off to the West Carteret guys.
I'm going to look it up, make sure I'm right.
Fans looked on, hoping that the kickoff to White Oak that week resulted in an 8-point lead return. Wouldn't happen again. Well, we were shocked when the West Carteret team took the kickoff and trotted all the way for not only the TD, but they grabbed 2 points extra, just like
Patriots.
White Oak did before.
I know. It was like we were sitting there just with our eyes like saucers in our mouths, hanging open, going like, this happened again?
Yeah.
This is a repeat? How we started last week? 2 weeks ago?
It looked exactly the same.
We were just
Almost
like,
identical.
But you know what? That was all they got.
Yeah. They, the Cards came back, quickly put a touchdown on the scoreboard, and they also got 2 extra points.
Yes.
They ran it in for that.
Now, I'm going to tell you about that Cardinal kicker.
Oh, my God.
He is fabulous.
Oh, yes.
He is. I've never seen anybody like kick like he does.
Other than several scares, West Carteret was one and done for the evening. They had their 1 touchdown, and that was going to be it. At the end of the game, the Cardinals had 35. The Patriots had 8. So far, Jacksonville is 3-0 for the season. Now for the real kicker. Pardon the pun. We traveled to Greenville Friday night to take on the powerful J.H. Rose High School team. Now, Sports Talk's Chris Rayner, he's going to join us in the studio in about 30 minutes. I've got some questions for him.
Yes, we have questions.
About the use of quarterbacks, using 2 of them, just rotating them in and out of the game. But I'll save it for Chris. So he's the expert. I'm not.
Maybe giving them experience each. I don't know.
Well,
I got lost in the numbers because you're right, because I kept looking for the first quarterback and looking for him by number because you know where we're sitting at.
You can't see
They're
much.
all the same size. But and so then it was a different number, and I know I was confused.
I was, and
I was happy confused though because we were winning.
we were winning, and we were pretty strong all the way through.
Yes.
Our defense looks a whole lot better than it did the first game.
I was just
So,
going to say that. I agree with that 100%.
Happy to see that happen because the defense can make all the difference in the world. And what really amazed me was their kicker, the Jacksonville kicker.
He's awesome.
Yeah, it's seldom that you see a high school team go for a 3-point field goal.
Yes.
Down on the close to the goal line, and you've got 4th down. And sometimes long yardage, even though you might be close to the goal because you've been put back. I get out there to show me what he could actually do under pressure, and he did twice.
Yes.
He put 6 points on the board himself.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, when he would do a kickoff, that thing would travel the field.
It would go down.
I mean, you might as well just get the ref the ball and let him go put it on the other team's 10-yard line or something, because that's where it's going to.
When they go into the end zone, it's
True.
bring it out to the 20. But that's better than kicking it to them and letting them run it all the way back.
Exactly.
'Cause,
He's
I mean, here's what you got to think about the kickoff.
what to get his name.
That ball goes up, and you are running down there to try to get down there to where whoever the guy is going to catch it. Well, that guy can catch it, and he gets a head start.
Maybe if Chris is listening, he'll
He'll-
send us his name.
Yeah, Chris Miller.
Yes.
But anyway, he's a heck of a kicker. I liked it. I know he's going places.
Oh yeah.
So
It was a good ball game.
It
really
was a good ball game.
Robbie and I bought some swag. We bought some merch.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
What an event spoiler at North Carolina State University Saturday. Not the game itself. It was the game against number 10 Notre Dame. It got delayed because of lightning in the area. The lightning wound up near the stadium. The game marked the debut of the brand new scoreboard at Carter Finley Stadium, but it hardly lasted a quarter. The game was delayed due to the weather just 15 seconds into the second quarter, and the scoreboard went totally black during the delay. Black. According to State, the 166-foot wide scoreboard is the 11th largest in all of college football. It contains 75 audio speakers, 75 speakers, and 6.6 million pixels.
Wow.
6.6 million. A substantial majority of those pixels were rendered useless for a while as the scoreboard had trouble reading the message that told fans the game was delayed due to lightning and that they should seek shelter. Good news, after a 90-minute delay, the scoreboard was back up and operational and the game continued. The scoreboard was not directly struck by lightning, but lightning strikes in the vicinity of sensitive electronic equipment can cause havoc. That's what happened. Might want to check to see how well grounded that scoreboard really is.
Could you see that thing?
The $15 million scoreboard was unveiled during the game, even while storms were in the area. The Fighting Irish led the game 3-0 at the time of the delay. Notre Dame whooped up on the Wolfpack 45-24 at the end.
Well, you want to talk about a football game? I know there's going to be talk this morning about the Cowboys. They just beat the tarnation.
Did they?
Out of the Giants last night. Look, 40-0. The Cowboys. The Cowboys have let loose.
Oh my! It's about time.
They took the New York Giants out last night. I mean, I first thing, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go take a shower and get my stuff ready for tomorrow and pop right back in. As soon as I did, there was another time. I mean, it was just the Cowboys were on fire last night.
Our kicker, by the way, for Jacksonville is named Britt Glover. He's a
Thank
senior.
you.
Unfortunately, he's
Great.
a senior.
Britt Glover.
Maybe they could fail him.
I'll write that down so we'll remember. Britt Glover.
Glover. He also plays soccer, but
I can see that.
I can see that too. I can feel that. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, I think he was what number one. His jersey was number 1. I think it was. I think so.
I don't.
I'm not
I
sure.
got
I'm not
pictures
going to
of
say.
it somewhere.
Yes, you do, and great pictures you took. So we're gonna keep a note on that. Britt Glover.
Go
boy
Glover.
can
Go Glover.
kick.
I think we all already get a pair of gloves and just wear one, kind of like Michael Jackson did. And
Why?
for Glover.
Oh, you're
A Jacksonville man goes on trial today for the 2020 murders of his mother and grandparents. Jordan Tyshawn Meade, who was 20 at the time, is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, larceny of a motor vehicle, possession of a stolen motor vehicle, larceny of a firearm, and possession of a stolen firearm. Burlington police contacted the Onslow Sheriff's Office after finding an SUV they thought might be stolen. Deputies knew nothing about the shootings at the time. They went to the home of the registered owner of that car and found Meade's grandparents, 60-year-old Geraldine A. Hawks and 71-year-old Emmett Jordan Hawks Sr., dead from gunshot wounds. Meade's mother, 48-year-old Jacqueline Meade, was found next door, dead from gunshot wounds. Meade was later found at a Burlington grocery store, arrested, and returned to Jacksonville. He has Wilmington lawyers representing him today, and District Attorney Ernie Lee will be prosecuting that case.
Hey, speaking of our district attorney, he's going to be on our show Thursday.
Yep, he'll be here.
Can't
Okay,
wait.
let's take a break. When we come back, I probably can give you a little commentary this morning.
Okay.
You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., WSME.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
If you love ocean pier fishing, the Sea View Pier Motel and Restaurant located at mile marker 18, North Topsail Beach is the place for you. The Sea View Pier is a family pier complete with bait and tackle shop, rod and reel rentals, and accessories. The restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner and features a complete menu from burgers to ocean fresh seafood, straight to you from the briny blue. With the Sea View Motel right next door and the most affordable rates on the coast, you can make it a vacation or a weekend of Carolina pier fishing. It's all here, including the fish. The Seaview Pier Motel and Restaurant, mile marker 18, North Topsail Beach, across the bridge, just south of Seas Ferry. To find out what's biting or for motel reservations, call anytime, 910-328-3172.
Modern Exterminating 627 College Street, Jacksonville has proudly been serving the pest control needs of Onslow and surrounding counties since 1952. That's 70 years of protecting the health and property of our citizens from rodents, termites, mosquitoes, and all other pests. Modern Exterminating offers inspection without obligation, being authorized to serve government quarters. Modern Exterminating takes this opportunity to thank those who serve and allowing us to handle all your pest control needs. If what they use don't zap them, they'll trap them. And if you're not satisfied, they'll step on them. The bug stops here. Modern Exterminating, family owned and operated since 1952. Call today, 910-455-5122. That's 910-455-5122 for Modern Exterminating. If you're looking for a great deal on a brand new Mitsubishi pre-owned car or truck, look no further than Bob Mills Mitsubishi, 2150 North Marine Boulevard. Because at Bob Mills Mitsubishi, they give it away and guarantee all their customers financing. At Bob Mills, there is no high pressure, no smoke and mirrors, or running back and forth to a sales manager. Buying a new Mitsubishi or quality pre-owned car or truck should be a fun experience. And that's what you'll have at Bob Mills Mitsubishi, 2150 North Marine Boulevard in Jacksonville, because they give it away.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back. And, let me go ahead and do a little bit of a commentary.
Okay.
When I do something like this, it's my opinion, okay? I got my opinion, you got yours. We're fine. You can express yours any way you want. Just don't badger me for expressing mine. The governor of New Mexico has issued an order that will prevent law-abiding citizens from carrying guns in Albuquerque for 30 days. It will have no impact on crooks. They don't obey the laws. That's why they're called lawbreakers. Governor Michelle Grisham is expecting legal challenges, no kidding, but felt compelled to act in response to gun deaths, including the fatal shooting of an 11-year-old boy outside a minor league baseball stadium last week. In a road rage attack, 11-year-old Froylan Villegas was killed and a woman was critically wounded as their vehicle was peppered with bullets while crowds departed an evening game. Last month, 5-year-old Galea Samanigo was fatally shot while asleep in a motor home. 4 teens entered the mobile home community in 2 stolen vehicles just before 6 o'clock in the morning and opened fire on the trailer. The girl was struck in the head and later died at a hospital. The governor also cited the August shooting death of 13-year-old Amber Archuleta. A 14-year-old boy shot and killed the girl with his father's gun while they were at his home. In every shooting, the governor noted, not once was the legal possession or carrying of a gun involved. Not once would this 30-day ban on carrying guns have stopped the already illegal acts that were committed by the offenders. It's the uninformed, idiotic, reactionary actions by so-called leaders in this country that need to be addressed. Criminals do not concern themselves with obeying gun laws any more than they concern themselves with obeying any other laws. That's what makes them criminals. In every tragic case the governor mentioned, bad people were already breaking laws. That includes the case where the 13-year-old girl died when a 14-year-old boy, illegally armed with his daddy's gun inside their home, shot the girl. No ban on the public carrying of guns would have stopped that 14-year-old shooter. His daddy certainly didn't make sure his gun was secured. In another case, she highlighted, teenagers in a stolen car drove to a motor home at 6 o'clock in the morning, illegally opened fire, and shot a 5-year-old girl who was sleeping. Were they concerned about gun laws and other laws they were breaking? Absolutely not. It's time to get to the root cause of these tragic situations. Could it be the lack of parenting, the lack of strict enforcement, the lack of severe punishment? It's time for all of us to wake up and do our part to return order to this country. We cannot leave it up to governors. We cannot leave it up to state senators. We cannot leave it up to any elected official because they don't know what's going on. They're absolutely in la-la land. And there anything they do that sounds like it could be a good thing for the country because I'm just going to ban the possession and carrying of legally owned guns by legally qualified people to do it. And not one of them has ever been out to do anything bad. Talk to the crooks. Talk to the parents. Get this figured out first.
Yes.
What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? We're going to go right back down here to Onslow County.
Yes, please do.
2 weeks ago, deputies responded to a shopping center, 75 Balsam Road and Piney Green Road intersection, about a shooting. They found a 15-year-old female had been struck in the leg and the shooters had fled the scene. The victim's injuries were not life-threatening, and she was treated and released that afternoon. Investigators with the Onslow Sheriff's Office Special Victims Unit, General Crimes Unit, and Crime Scene Investigation Unit responded to the scene. The investigators learned this incident involved juvenile students from White Oak High School, some of which were not immediately identified at that time. Investigators discovered this was directly related to threats previously made the day before on a Monday against a female student by a male student who had been in a relationship with the female, both of whom are students at White Oak High School. These threats were not known to law enforcement until the shooting investigation. The day after the shooting, the 30th, investigators briefed this case with the district attorney's office. Investigators continued processing evidence, followed up on witness statements, and worked to identify all individuals involved. On Thursday, last week, after consulting with District Attorney Ernie Lee and Assistant DA Brittany Hart, 5 juveniles are charged with these offenses. 1, 16-year-old, communicating threats, larceny, accessory after the fact to assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, accessory after the fact to discharging a firearm within an enclosure to incite fear, accessory after the fact to discharging a firearm into an occupied property. That's 1 juvenile. The second one, 16-year-old, assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill, discharging a firearm within an enclosure to incite fear, discharging a firearm into an occupied property, resist, obstruct, and delay, possession of a firearm by a minor. 3 of them, 17 years old, assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, discharging a firearm within an enclosure to incite fear, discharging of a firearm into an occupied property, possession of a firearm by a minor. A 15-year-old, possession of a firearm by a minor. 17-year-old, possession of a firearm by a minor. Now, Terrence Lee McNair, he's an adult. He's 20 years old.
20.
He was on the lam until the weekend.
That's right.
They got him. Accessory after the fact to assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill. Accessory after the fact to discharging a firearm within an enclosure to incite fear. Accessory after the fact to discharging a firearm into an occupied property, contributing to the delinquency of a minor. 3 counts.
You know, and most of these charges against all of these involved were felonies.
Yes.
Felonies.
Yes.
15, 16
Slap
years
on the
old.
wrist. You wait and see. Slap on the
Felonies.
wrist. That's what it's going to be.
I hope not. I don't agree with the law the way it was changed.
No, neither
I
do
think that if you're going to be adult enough to carry a gun and point it at somebody and pull the trigger,
You are an
should
adult.
be charged as an adult.
Let's put it this way. If you come up to a guy's house and you've got a gun, I don't care if you're 12 years old, 13, 14 years old. If you discharge it or point it at the homeowner, he's going to shoot you. Rightfully so.
Yes.
You will die like a man,
Yeah,
but you're going to die.
that's right.
That's what you need to understand. Now, the law is a little different story, the law enforcement. But you try that on a grown-up man at his home or wherever he is. Can you imagine being in that pizza place as even an armed civilian, legally armed?
Right.
What would you do?
What could you do?
Shoot the person with a gun.
True. But in the meantime, the building's being sprayed.
Yeah. Shoot the person with a gun.
You know, I went out to a grocery store. And it was after I left the show Thursday or Friday, I forgot. And I found myself, as soon as I got out of the truck, I started looking all around the parking lot, making sure it was safe.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? But it's come to that.
That is exactly what you should be doing.
It's the way it is
what
now.
your surroundings are.
That's right.
Be aware of your surroundings.
It's crazy. It's crazy that we live like that. And I hope that with this investigation, more and more facts are coming out.
They will release more of them as they
And
get them
I
all put
hope
together.
people will sit back and wait for the facts to be released before they go and do things like what they did at the Board of Education meeting last week. That was ridiculous. And we all have concerns over our children in school, but let's wait and get the facts.
Yes.
Assumptions. I found myself making an assumption last night. I was coming down the road. It was almost 9 o'clock, very dark. And I saw a woman pushing a baby in a baby stroller. And this
Oh,
baby
my.
was little. Right across 5 lanes of traffic to cross
Oh,
over
my.
to go into the neighborhood. And I'm thinking, and she was carrying a grocery bag.
Oh, my.
And I'm thinking, is that crazy out at this time of night with a baby, having to walk areas where might be unsafe? And I'm assuming that she's just not thinking. And then I got thinking, you know, what if she was a single mother,
That's right.
had no one at all to help her?
Yep.
She needed to go to the store to get that baby some formula for the morning. She realized she didn't have enough for breakfast, you know, and
Or
she
maybe she
took
worked all day long.
that's right. So she took that chance, put that baby in a little stroller, and went to the store at night. So we all have a way of assuming things before we think about things.
Yep.
So I'm glad the sheriff's department they've done an excellent job with
Yep.
investigating this and making the arrest. And I hope that eventually more things will come out to satisfy people to know that
Oh, no. No.
the things were in place.
No, they will still defend their position of being idiots.
Yeah.
You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
The summer heat has not kept Mixed Masters Concrete inside. They can handle the heat or cold and that concrete project on your to-do list. When it comes to concrete, nobody does it harder or quicker than Mixed Masters Concrete Incorporated. 3661E Highway 24 in Beulahville. Whether you need concrete for residential, commercial, or agricultural projects, Mixed Masters Concrete Incorporated serves all of Eastern North Carolina. From driveways, patios, to livestock housing, Mixed Masters has the concrete and owner Scott Thigpen them will gladly provide a free estimate. For on-site delivery, phone 910-298-6153, and they deliver on Saturdays. When you need a ready-mix concrete quick, call Mix Masters Concrete of Beulaville, 910-298-6153. Mix Masters Concrete of Beulaville takes this time to thank those that serve us for our most prized possession, our freedom, and is proud to be a part of the continuing growth of Duplin, Onslow, Jones, and surrounding counties. Coastal Bank and Trust thanks you for allowing us the privilege of handling all your banking needs, including personal and commercial loans to mortgage services. With locations in Jacksonville, Holly Ridge, Richlands, and Morehead City, Coastal Bank and Trust truly is a community bank dedicated to those we serve and is proud to be a part of the continued growth of Onslow, Carteret, and surrounding counties, and looks forward to meeting you. Thank you for voting us the best of the best 5 years in a row. FDIC insured and an equal housing lender.
C&S Paint, Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957, with 3 locations serving the Crystal Coast, has everything you need from brushes to Olympic stain and quality Benjamin Moore paint. Benjamin Moore offers unmatched color and durability, so the color will last for years to come. Whether a do-it-yourselfer or paint contractor, when you shop C&S Paint Center with 3 locations, you're not just improving your home or construction site, you're supporting a local business too. C&S Paint Center, Olympic Stain, and Benjamin Moore. Paint for everything that matters. C&S Paint Center, 105 Wayne Drive, Morehead City, 6 Doris Avenue, Jacksonville, and 504 Cedar Point Boulevard, Cedar Point. C&S Paint. Phone 910-455-0210. Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957.
Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas and Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-7138. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams.
Hi guys, it's Lisa, the Queen of Diamonds from Bryn Mawr Jewelers in Jacksonville. Are you looking for a ring for the perfect girl? We have hundreds of rings in our beautiful showroom. Want a ring as unique as your girl? Then we'll custom design a ring especially for you. Not sure if you want lab-grown diamonds or an earth mine diamond? No problem. We'll take the time to explain the difference. We guarantee to find a diamond as exceptional as your girl. We hand select every diamond that comes into our store, and it has to be a sparkling fireball to make it in our showcase. Our long-standing relationships in the industry guarantees you to get the most competitive price on the highest quality diamond. We offer custom financing so that it's easy to buy the ring of her dreams. We have rings for every budget and a vast selection of loose diamonds. So I invite you to come visit us today at Bryn Mawr Jewelers in Jacksonville. The Lutz family has been a part of thousands of I Do's for over 72 years. Nobody does I Do like we do. Come see why we're Jacksonville's oldest family jeweler.
Bryn Mawr Jewelers, next to Sam's Club Jacksonville. Attention property owners, are you fed up with bad tenants, under market rents, and late payments? At Fountain Management, we provide unrivaled levels of expertise and all the tools and services you need to make owning a rental property easy and profitable. Are you ready to talk about taking the management of your real estate investment to the next level? Well, contact us today. Fountain Management, 910-455-1609. We will make owning your rental property simple and rewarding.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties. Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
All right, we're back here for a couple of minutes, and on the line we got little Tim. Hey, Tim, what's up?
Hey, Tim.
What's happening? Good morning, all of you. Lee, I was listening to what you were talking about. seeing somebody late at night. Over the years I've seen that, and I have stopped, but that's the wrong thing to do now.
Right.
But now, what I would have done, and I have done it numerous times, done it in the daytime too, especially with the elders, is I would call a unit. If it was county, I'd call the sheriff's department. If it was city, I'd call the police department. Hey, would you mind coming down here to such and such and checking on this person? Because it just don't look right being out here in the middle of the night or being out here the heat of the day with an elderly person walking down. I've seen that on North Marine Boulevard one day. This lady just wound up sitting down, and I was over where I was working at the time, and I called a unit. Said, y'all come check on her. And she was give out. They picked her up and carried her home.
Yeah, well, that's good.
That's great.
And I was just letting leave. If you ever see that at night, don't stop.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I know
But
better.
Just call the union.
Yes.
And let them check on.
Well, you never know when it's a setup too.
That's right.
Well, yeah, but I'd rather, like you said, the scenario could have been they ran out of formula and they're by themselves. They have no car. They can't afford DoorDash. They can't afford Uber Eats. They can't do it. We got a lot of poor people in this world.
Yes.
And you can help them without the government getting involved. And I've done that numerous times. But I'll let y'all go. You finna hit a hard break, and I will talk to y'all later. I just wanted to throw that in.
Timmy, thank you, sir. We
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Tim.
Always good hearing
See
from
you
you.
later.
Yep, later. Let's take our Fox News break, and we'll be back in about 60 seconds. You're live and local Real Talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. Today, the nation marks the 22nd anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. Remembers the nearly 3,000 people who lost their lives today and the first responders and others impacted by 9/11 related illnesses. President Biden will head to Alaska to commemorate 9/11 from a military base in Anchorage in a break from tradition. He's wrapping up his trip to Vietnam.
Everyone in both our countries is working to make sure that people, no matter who they are, who sees potential.
Biden also paid his respect at a memorial to his friend and former colleague, John McCain. At the U.S. Open,
Novak Djokovic reclaims his crown in New York and reaches his 24th major championship.
that sound courtesy of ESPN. 19-year-old American Coco Gauff won the women's final. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Okay, I told you we'd be back. So a little after 8:01, and we're back in here. You got to hand it to Donald Trump.
What now?
Okay, he knows how to steal a show. Saturday, he showed up for the Iowa versus Iowa State game, entered the parking lot, and actually started flipping burgers at one tailgate party.
Well, that's Donald Trump for you.
In time for the kickoff, he entered the stadium, and chants of USA, USA started ringing out. All eyes, all attention was on the former president, and that's exactly what he wanted.
Exactly.
He was also hit with the 4 more years chant. 4 more years. In 2015, ahead of the 2016 elections, Trump attended the same matchup with pretty much the same crowd reaction. He was invited earlier last week to make a second appearance. Not sure he ever let the cat out of the bag, not too far in advance anyway. You have to know that the reaction has only empowered him more than ever. And the campaigning season is just now getting underway full steam. There's just no telling what sort of surprises he has in store for the next 14 months. Folks, keep your cell phones ready so you can start taking pictures. He's coming on you, counting on you, because he doesn't think the mainstream media, for the most part, will provide very much coverage of whatever he's doing, even if he is the Republican nominee next year. He's got to get over that hurdle first.
Well, he's got court coming up, too.
And he's got a court coming up. At some point in time, he may have a court coming up. The chances of that happening as rapidly as the DA there in Georgia wants it to happen.
She plans on having it, what, October?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. But if it happens,
I think there'll be a lot of delays.
a judge, she cannot make the full call on this. All right, a judge, if the motion for continuance happens, I would expect it to be granted. You can generally do as many as 3 continuances in pretty much any case. You're aware of that, right? That's
Right,
just standard.
right.
Here in
It
North
is.
Carolina, that's standard. If you want to continue it, all you got to do is ask for it. Then after the third one or at the third one, they will say no more, unless there's a really good reason. Like, I'm in the hospital, I can't be there.
True. Well, you want to talk about court cases. Can I change the subject real quick?
Sure.
You know, I followed that Alex Murdaugh murder case.
Yeah.
I was watching it every day. And he was convicted, found guilty of murdering his wife and son.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? Looks like there may be a new trial coming up.
What now?
Well, Richard Harpootlian, we call him Poot, and Jim Griffin, his attorneys on his case, announced that they filed with the South Carolina Court of Appeals alleging that Colleton County Clerk of Court, Rebecca Hill, had engaged in improper communications and conduct with the jury that had convicted.
Really?
Well, let me tell you what she did. This is what allegedly she did. She pressured jurors to reach a quick verdict and had frequent conversations with the jury foreperson to sway the panel towards a guilty verdict.
Why does she have any contact with the jury?
She's just a clerk of court. Her responsibility is that they need hotel rooms, book them.
Yeah.
They need lunch, order the lunch. And paperwork, I'm there in that county anyway. But and then you know what she did after all this was done and over with? She secured a book deal and wrote a book.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Anyway.
New trial.
But
Maybe she
she
can do a second book.
but she told jurors
She'll be out of there.
not to be fooled by Murdaugh before he testified and misrepresented critical material information to the judge trial. In other words, she told him that there was a Facebook post made by the ex-husband of one of the jurors that was putting out information and claiming Murdaugh to be guilty. Come to find out, this man's Facebook was not hacked, but it was cloned. And so, and she used that because she wanted that juror off the jury because that juror was not sure about wanting to convict Murdaugh and find him guilty. So she went to the judge with these false allegations. All this is alleged. And she had that juror removed. But she also instructed the panel to watch him closely and look at his actions, implying that Murdaugh was lying. The filing says Hill got one juror booted from the panel on February 28th on the eve of deliberations by falsely telling Judge Clifton Newman that the woman's ex-husband had accused her in the deleted Facebook. Well, they found out that was all fake. She also told 6 smokers on the panel they could not take a smoke break until they wrapped up deliberations. So in other words, you need to go in there and all vote, get it done and over with. And, that way you can go home, you can go smoke your cigarette, you can go eat or whatever. But there was a lot of things. And
She's
4
not
of the
supposed to have
jurors.
contact with the jury, period.
Well, let me tell you what, it was alleged that her and the jury foreperson would have a lot of private conversations. They even went into the same bathroom stall together and shut the door in that bathroom in order to talk. And then when they went out to the Murdaugh farm and residence to take a look around the dog kennels and stuff, she was seeing with jurors walking off and discussing what they were talking about. I don't know, but there's 4 jurors that have come forth now and done affidavit of swearing to this. Some of the other jurors don't want to talk or get involved in it, but they're saying that these jurors that came forward said, well, we thought it was kind of unusual, but we really didn't think anything of it. We didn't know. But this is going to be a mess because more than likely there's going to be a retrial on it. Another trial.
Oh man.
And it's not going to get him anywhere. He's in prison for life anyway on all the tax evasion and fraud and extortion charges that he has on him anyway, but it's crazy.
It is just totally out there in la la land.
I'm just like, I followed that one, I followed it to the end, and then this, and I'm like, oh no.
All right, why don't we take an early break?
Okay.
Because we're waiting. Chris Rayner, he'll be here shortly from Sports Talk.
Yes.
And we want to talk about the Jacksonville High Cardinals. So we'll go ahead and get the weather break out of the way, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
The Burrow Restaurant and Bar in Swansboro is hiring. We're currently looking for experienced line cooks and expos. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. The Burrow is open 7 days a week. Stop by for an application. Our sister restaurant, Il Cigno Italiano, is also hiring line cooks, expos, and bartenders. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. The Burrow Restaurant on Front Street and Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue, both in Swansboro.
Schools are now back in session. Please do your part and drive carefully to make the streets and highways throughout Onslow County safe for our children and our citizens. This reminder is brought to you with the best wishes of Richlands Insurance and Realty, your trusted choice insurance agency located at 207 South Academy Street in Richlands. Richlands Insurance and Realty sincerely appreciates the opportunity to serve you with all of your insurance and real estate needs, whether it be homeowners, business insurance, life, automobile, and even motorcycle and boat insurance. Since 1950, Richlands Insurance and Realty has protected the citizens and property of people throughout Onslow and surrounding counties with the utmost and personal professional service and care, giving their clients peace of mind. So trust your insurance needs to your trusted choice agency, Richlands Insurance and Realty, 207 South Academy Street, Richlands. Byron Irvin and the staff at Richlands Insurance and Realty are here and ready to help you. Phone 910-324-3133 for Richlands Insurance and Realty, serving our area since 1950.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full-color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only copper protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech, luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2022 in the flooring, covering, and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering. They're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering. Family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering. You stand on it, we stand behind it. Great Gas and Oil Company, and of course, Wismart and Chappie's Chicken, located at 4111 Gum Branch Road, right here in Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert, has all you need when it comes to convenience for gas, cold beverages, and a great selection for quick pickup essentials. Enjoy fresh, not frozen, delicious meals at Chappie's Chicken, located inside Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. So if you're in a hurry, get it all: gas, ice cold beverages, convenience store items, and delicious, fresh, not frozen, Chappie's chicken at Wismart, 4111 Go Branch Road, Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, is ready for summer, and you should be too. With the Cub Cadet zero-turn, lawn tractors, and walk-behind lawnmowers from Cub Cadet, all engineered with premium features, leaving you with a well-manicured lawn. Stop by Mills International Incorporated today and unlock the possibilities of your yard with Cub Cadet. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street for exceptional offers, expert advice, and superior service.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we're back. Tideline Marine, sponsors of our marine forecast every day at this time. They're closed today. They're closed all Mondays, but the doors will reopen tomorrow morning in about 24 hours from now. And that will be a perfect time for y'all, all of y'all, to go by and check out the new store, the ship store. Every day I work there, somebody's going to come in who's never stopped by before. They've heard about it, and they may have lived here all their lives and have just never been there. This is pretty cool. And then they'll just look around. Newcomers to the area. If you are new to the area, perhaps you've never fished in our waters, you know, the New River, the White Oak River, the Atlantic Ocean, or whatever, you might not know how to do it here. You may be a freshwater guru up around some of the Great Lakes, but this is a different type of fishing. Stop by, ask, check out the goodies that are there. If you moved here but you didn't come here with a boat, you want one? Tideline's got those too. If you want a really cool boat, now this is one that Chris Rayner would love to get into, I'm sure. It's an Aloha Tri-Tune, pontoon type boat. It's got, get this, you ready? It's got an upper deck. You can go up there in sun or just lie out, do whatever. And on that upper deck, there's a sliding board attached to it that lets you slide right down into the water.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Do the old redneck slide from the top.
There you go. It's kind of like a water park.
I found something at water parks. Heavy folks like myself go a lot faster. So you got to watch out where the rumble strips are and things like that. Like the old water slide at Myrtle Waves where it has the dip in it. The little kids just wee. The big kids like myself go airborne and hit the slide somewhere further down. So
there you go.
You got to take physics into consideration.
Oh my gosh.
Check it out. The staff would be happy to share whatever knowledge they have there at Tideline Marine about fishing and about boating in the area. Tideline Marines at 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Strong, long period swell from Hurricane Lee is impacting the area through the rest of this week. Very large seas can be expected by mid to late week as the swells peak on Friday and the cyclone passes well offshore, thank God. Rip currents will be prevalent, and anyone venturing into the surf, including surfers, fishermen, swimmers, should be forewarned. Westerly winds offshore today, 5 to 10 knots, becoming southwesterly in the afternoon, 3 to 4 footers. Dominant period, 14 seconds. That's a long ways apart. Those are gentle rollers, but they will also create rip currents. Sounds and rivers, a light chop. Tomorrow, westerly winds around 5 knots, becoming southerly in the afternoon, 3 to 5 footers again. Sounds and rivers flat, increasing to a light chop in the afternoon. And by Wednesday, westerly winds 5 to 10, northerly 10 to 15 after midnight. Seas 5 to 7 feet, sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop after midnight going into Thursday.
And today we have a scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny with a high near 80. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy with a low around 71. Tuesday, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny with a high near 88. Tuesday night, low of 69. Wednesday, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny with a high near 86.
All right, Chris Rayner, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
I appreciate you coming in this morning.
Can I do the extended forecast?
Yeah.
Gee, y'all did such a good job. I'm not as smooth as y'all, though. The extended forecast is for Friday, which you know is my day that I love.
I know. Friday night.
High 80, low 56.
Yes.
Wednesday,
Football
Thursday,
weather, baby.
Absolutely. It's
5% chance of rain. One of those classic Friday nights.
Yes.
That is what we call a segue into Friday night football.
Friday night football. Yes.
I'm not smooth and polished, but I know what a segue is.
Yes, that's good.
So first of all,
how much does a segue?
How much segue could a segue weigh if a segue could weigh segs? I don't know.
Okay.
I know what you're talking
Do you have Have you checked your car? Do you have a Henway in your car?
What's that?
What?
Huh?
A Henway?
Yeah.
Where?
In your car?
I don't know, but this has got to be some one of those repeating jokes.
What's a Henway?
About 2.5 pounds.
I fell for that and I knew better.
If Pete and Repeat were sitting on the fence and Pete fell, we'll stop right there.
All right. Speaking of Friday night football,
How
last
about
Friday
let's
night.
jump into the results? You want to do that first?
Yeah.
Last Friday night?
Well, we know what one of them was for sure.
Have you got them all right in front of you?
No, I've got one. I got
Okay.
Jacksonville right in front of me.
Start with the big one there, the Cards.
Yes.
We are the flagship station.
We are.
Good with that one.
Cardinal
You got the
Radio,
score.
35-8.
Oh, yeah. I like the card. I like the glitter card. That's a bling card.
Well, you can't- yeah, it's a blingy Cardinal.
But how about we get you guys a helmet? You want a helmet?
Yes.
I'll talk with Coach Williams and get
Yeah,
you a helmet.
absolutely. Put it right here.
We've got
Yeah,
one to put
perfect.
on our table, and the big matchups will, alternate. I think we have every high school helmet except Lejeune. It's so hard to get anything, of course, from out there. But the new coach is doing well at Lejeune, so we're
Oh,
going to try
my
and get
goodness.
that one.
For the first time in what, 80 years?
They're competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, they're scoring points. They're 1 and 2.
Competitive.
It's not that they don't try. Those kids are awesome out there. It's just they don't have the numbers.
Yeah.
But he's infused a new attitude. 9 touchdown passes in one game. I don't care.
I don't care who you are. That's good.
impressive. Yeah. Ties the state record.
I like
One
that.
more and he'd had it all to himself. So that's
Yeah,
impressive.
wow.
All right, here's the results from this past Friday. You had White Oak beating Northside 35-22.
It's a big game.
That was a big game because they're huge rivals.
Yes.
And this is developing into a little bit of a rivalry. East Duplin and Croatan, because they're both very competitive in football now, and they play each other a lot non-conference. Obviously not the same conference.
Wasn't East Duplin winner in the conference last year? Was
They
that
won the
East
state 2A
Yeah, the
championship.
state.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And that we were talking on Sports Talk Friday. Every team in Duplin County now has a state championship. North Duplin has
Really?
won in the past. James Keenan has won, and Wallace, and East Duplin was the last. Every team in Duplin County has one.
Cool.
And East Duplin always had that the best team to never win a state championship. Not anymore. Those kids last year, that was a great game. It was just they did an awesome job of going up there and taking care of business.
Yes, sir.
So they beat Croatan. East Duplin did 56-13. So the beat rolls on, as they call it. Jacksonville, of course, 35-8 over West Carteret. We're going to get into that game and the Cardinals a little more, but obviously West Carteret from the old conference days, they're a team that always was a thorn in Jacksonville's
They
side.
were a
I
winner.
remember that.
Jackson will be rolling along and playing East Carteret team that was 500 or so, and they just the matchup or something about that rivalry, it was always a tough game.
Yep.
So they took care of business there too. Richland, speaking of taking care of business,
That's they come back.
No.
broke out the whooping stick over South Lenore 48-0.
Nice.
Southwest 57, Goldsboro nothing.
Yeah, we were following that one
0-3
too.
Stallions come in and play. Goldsboro is not up to the talent level of most of the other Onslow County teams right now. I'd say they beat a couple, but they've got good numbers, good size. It's just not. You look at the product on the field, and it's not quite put together right. But there are no pushovers, and Southwest went in there and actually played their best game all year long. Not just because of the opponent, but because of the way they. I was at this game, so I can talk a little bit about it. The way they executed, you could just see there was more of a I don't know, more there, more fire and stuff, and they played well, and it turned out well. Interesting side note: have you been to Goldsboro High School before? I know you have. Ray.
It's been a long time.
It's at the edge of a neighborhood that has a reputation of having some issues over the years. We'll just put it that
Yeah.
way. In the old days, and I've confirmed this with several referees since, if you scored a touchdown at that end of the stadium, you had to go to the other end of the stadium to kick an extra point because the balls that went into this neighborhood never got returned. Seriously, I thought they had made it up until I've confirmed it with the refs. They don't have to do it anymore. Goldsboro's done a good job of revitalizing that area, and it's a lot better. Neighborhood is perked up a lot. But they used to not kick into that end because if it went out of the stadium, the ball was never seen again.
Could you
Not
imagine
by stadium officials.
a high-scoring game and running out of footballs?
You would. And that
my
game you would
gosh.
have. So they did not do that Friday
is
night. They
crazy.
kind of got things under control there. Dixon, how about the Bulldogs?
I
Won their last two
know.
games, 28-22 over Trask.
Go Dixon.
2-2 on the year. So the Bulldogs, that coach, Kelly Davis, we had him on the show, and you could just tell that he's going to get them in the right direction. Now, who knows how far that direction will take them.
Fired up.
But already 2-2 has got people excited down in Holly Ridge. North Duplin 62, Lejeune 20. Normally that would have been a 75-0 game. So Lejeune
Yes.
is getting more and more
Into the game.
into the game. Now Connor Shea, the kid that threw for the 9 touchdown passes, threw for 3 more. So his touchdown total this year might be the most impressive on a team that only wins a couple of games, probably, because just who they play, they only got maybe 200 kids over there, something like that, and they just don't have the numbers. But they're making them believe over there. Topsail 34, Swansboro 7. So Swansboro is Swansboro's got to get it together. I mean, they're struggling with numbers too. Their coach down there, Shea Townsend, I've had him on the show before. He's got a great mind, great offensive mind. I think they just got to get a little more defense going down there and some more players. Just like everybody else, they're struggling to get numbers right now.
Yeah.
I will throw this in: Arundel Parrott Academy 75 and Liberty Christian Academy 12. They're doing the 8-on-8 thing this year. Liberty Christian is. So they're struggling with that a little. Getting the first. They've got the football field. Have you been up there and noticed their football stadium?
No, I have not.
Next time you go through Richlands, check out the stadium. They built it, and I think their intent is to eventually get to regular football. 8-on-8 gets a bad knock from a lot of people. Sometimes schools have to start with that because of numbers, things like that. But it's basically, a lot of people make fun of it, call it like a passing league type thing, and it's not 11-on-11. So, they'll get it going up there.
I think most overall, our county schools are doing great in football.
Oh, yeah.
For starting off.
Starting off a good year.
Good year.
Some obviously want to be better than they are, and some,
Right.
obviously are glad they're not worse than they are. So,
I'm tickled over Dixon.
Yeah, that's impressive down there.
I think
For his
that,
first season, normally it takes a coach. I just got a text from Chris Miller, says Liberty will always be 8 men. I don't know why, but apparently that's something that they're doing there. So apparently they're always going to be in the 8-man league there.
Okay.
And there's several academies around, and the private schools that do that. So talking about Dixon though, remember when Bo Williams first came to Jacksonville? Everybody was looking forward to Bo, the son of Chip Williams, going to get things turned around. If I'm not badly mistaken, and Chris, correct me on this, I think he went 0-10 the first year. And then 1-9 or 1-10 the next year. But he got his stuff in place. And a lot of times it takes a while to get that done. And a lot of schools just don't give the coaches time enough to get that done. They'll pull the plug.
Well, Chris, how about their female kicker, Dixon?
Oh, I know. 2 of them.
Yes.
One on JV and one on varsity.
And the one on JV is Melissa Oakley's daughter.
Really?
Yes.
Sure is.
She's a good kicker, too.
We were at a Swansboro game a few years ago, and they had a female kicker too.
Yeah. A lot of times there's some schools where because the seasons overlap, the boys soccer coaches won't allow them to play football too, because it is pulling them from their what they need them for. So a lot of these teams go to the girls team. You get it, and that's what Dixon did.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that Dixon boys soccer coach is not totally enamored of his kids kicking on a football team, so they went to the girls team and got one, and she can kick it. We saw them in a scrimmage, and Southwest had a kicker that was a fill-in player from the team and everything, and I believe Coach Dempsey was a believer after that. He went to the boys soccer team a couple weeks after and got him a soccer player. Because soccer players, kicking a soccer ball and kicking a football is not that much different to them.
No.
They just boom it in the right place and it goes. I mean, one goes end over end, the other spins as a soccer ball, but that's the only difference. One's oblong and one's round.
There you go.
But let's get to the Jacksonville Cardinals.
Yeah.
Good win
how
for
about
them.
their kicker?
Oh yeah, Glover.
Britt
Glover is like,
he can boom.
holy I have not been to a high school game, if I can recall. I do not ever remember a field goal being successful in a high school football game that I have attended.
A field goal?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Look, it used to be, usually when the kicker gets up there, I watch like this, but when he's up there.
He put 2 of them over Friday night.
Yes, he had field goals of 45 and 31 yards.
Yeah.
And
great stuff.
7 touchbacks. That is the biggest weapon for a kicker, is to kick in the end zone and the team start on the 20. In the NFL now, in college, it's the 25. That's still, if you could every high school game know that the other team started at the 25 or 20, that's a great asset. That's a huge weapon they have.
Well, in the game against White Oak and again with the West Carteret, both of those games, the initial kickoff, we won the toss, but we elected to kick it off, not to receive it.
And they caught the ball
and
and
they
ran
caught
it
it inside, and they ran it for the full length.
I know, it's crazy.
Well, really what they're doing is deferring to the second half.
Yeah, I understand.
This is the whole analytics thing. They love to have that 5 or 6 minutes before the half and 5 or 6 minutes after the half. That's what's considered the crucial part of the game to try to win. So if you start out with the second half kickoff, a lot of times, that enhances your chance of winning that crucial part of the game, which enhances your chance of winning the game.
Well,
so a lot of them will defer, which basically means the other team's not going to say, "Oh, you defer, we're going to kick anyway."
Yeah,
They're
we've
gonna take
got
the
that
ball.
part. It's the part about twice now allowing the other team to take the ball and run it the whole field and for a touchdown.
On the
First
kickoff?
play of the
On the
game.
kickoff.
Okay, that's what happens if you don't get it in the end zone.
That's exactly where it
if
was
you
going.
kick it deep and it's not in the end zone, that gives them a good return man a lot of room to run.
Yep.
This
Just open space.
It can pick up space, pick up speed.
I remember the kid down from Swansboro that ended up playing at Penn State, and it won't pop in my head. Chris will tell me here in a minute because Chris is great for stuff like that. He remembers names. He played at Swansboro, ended up going to Penn State, and just was fast. And on kickoff, you didn't kick it deep to him. You'd rather kick it out of bounds, let him start at 35.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of teams are going to the pooch kick now, which drives fans nuts. A pooch kick.
A pooch?
Pooch kick. They're not
Is
kicking
that-
a dog.
Is that like pooch?
They're like pooching it, like a lob wedge to about the 30-yard line on one side or the other or down the middle. The theory there is to try and get it in the hands of somebody that's not accustomed to a ball, a blocker.
It also gives you time to get downfield.
It
That's
does.
taking a
And a
chance.
lot of times those guys will fumble the ball. But here's what happens. When a team pooch kicks every time,
You get used to it.
there's this thing called huddle where they see that, and so they put their hands guys up there. Then you're having return men getting a 30-yard head start. So football's all about adjusting. You can't just sit there and grind and do, unless you just got one of those stud teams.
Yeah.
You just can't grind everything. Now, the best thing is a kicker like Glover that can put it in the end zone. 7 touchbacks. That's awesome. Zach Maddox kicked for Southwest years ago and went on to kick for App State. Southwest didn't have to cover kickoffs. He kicked in the end zone every time. He kicked a 52-yard field goal against Richlands one year. That's a lot in high school. The record in North Carolina is around upper 50s, so that's close to a state record. But to have a kicker like that, a lot of teams just kind of overlook, and it's a second thing that they do for special teams. It's not really emphasized.
Right.
But if you have a good special teams unit, look at the Beamer coach that sat down at South Carolina to start the second half. So North Carolina defers in the first game of the year to the second half to try to get that advantage. Well, what does South Carolina do? Onside kick to start the second half. Totally neutralizes that deferment because they get the kickback. So a good special teams unit. Beamer's dad up at Virginia Tech for years, they called it Beamer ball because their special teams were so much better than other teams that it was usually good for a score or two or a stolen possession, things like that. So that's why it's good to have that special teams.
Now, let's go to this.
Quarterback.
Alternating quarterbacks during the game when one's not hurt. You generally have a starting quarterback, right?
Yeah, but Jacksonville doesn't do that. They have Amari play every down.
A what?
They have Amari play every down.
Amari
That's
play?
his name, Amari.
Oh!
They're both named Amari. So that was my Yeah. So,
I
I'm
thought
sorry.
you were. It was
The
some
Jacksonville
kind of
people
play.
that know their names. Yeah,
Right.
understood.
They don't
It's
know
Amari
names.
Dorsey and Amari Barber.
That's right, Amari Dorsey. I knew that.
So Amari Barber is the point guard on the basketball team. When your kid's the point guard on the basketball team and the quarterback, that's your leader. That's your quarterback on both teams, essentially, or your point guard on both teams, however you want to look at it. Amari Dorsey, same thing. He's the junior in the crowd. Amari Barber, I think, is the senior. So a lot of coaches have different philosophies on what year to play. Some coaches look at it like he's my senior. He's done his dues. He knows the system. I'm gonna play my senior. A lot of them look at it. Well, this is a junior that is right up there with the senior. Play him this year. That builds us for next year even more. That lays the grounds for next year. Coach Bo Williams has this unique thing this year to where they're both so close to each other. It's tough to pick one.
But they played for the receivers downfield or the people who are taking the handoff. They don't hand it off or they don't toss it the same way.
You have that is one of the problems with it. You have some differences, but to be honest with you, I'd rather have two kids that could play quarterback than only one. And then
True.
And it's the same thing. We ran into this issue at Southwest. Our starting quarterback is, I'd guess, around 6'1", something like that to start the year. He's a senior. He had an injury, so they had to go to the reserve, who is right there with the senior. I say reserve, but they had planned, I think, on playing both of them some. Coach Dempsey did. And the backup, or the one that came in to, and has been starting since, is around 5'10", 5'9", maybe. I mean, he's not a real tall kid. And so there was some handoff issues right at the start when you were talking about downfield stuff.
Yeah.
Handoffs are even more crucial, especially to a running team, because the handoff point, might be a little lower. It took a little adjusting.
Chest or belly?
Same thing too with snaps. I mean, you got you got 6'5" Tim Tebow back there taking snaps, or Lee Barrows. She's gonna be a little lower than Tim. So, especially if you're under center, which a lot of teams do, but it's a good thing. It's a good pet to have two quarterbacks like that. And I think Coach Williams is trying to get the best out of both of them. And it wouldn't surprise me by midway through the season or conference play starts, maybe even this week, that he's made a decision on which one is going to be the premier
Probably
starter.
for Rose, he probably ought to do that.
Well, yeah, Rose, I think, is pretty good this year. For one.
Yeah.
J.H. Rose.
Now, is that game at Greenville?
Yes.
Yes, at Greenville.
Dang it.
Yeah, they're a good team. They've been good for years.
I've got a family thing that night. If not, then I'm going to go.
Take your family with you.
Uh,
Take the family thing on the road.
I can't.
There's good barbecue.
It's
up
for
there.
my sister. Oh, yes.
So that's the first thing we do when we see a road game coming is plot out.
Okay.
Where
Where
to
are we
eat.
going to eat?
And we're not going to eat at no bad thing about Bojangles or McDonald's or anything, but we're not going to eat at a chain place on the road. We're going to
Right.
eat at it's going to be an indigenous restaurant to that area.
Something you've not been to before.
Yeah, something you've heard about. Well, maybe it's something you've been to, but you just know that it's good old country food.
Good old country. Now I'm hungry.
For instance, McCall's when we went to Goldsboro. Great restaurant. So the quarterback issue, I don't think there's any easy fix for it. I think it's just kind of
I like what they're
a good
doing.
problem to have, though, by having two talented kids like
And
that.
I understand completely what they're doing. It was just so unusual watching it the other
Yeah.
night. It was like switch back and forth. And we're like, I couldn't keep up with which quarterback was up there. Because, I go by their
Now,
numbers.
Do they both throw with the same arm, or is one left-handed, one right-handed? I think they're both right-handed.
I think they're both
they are.
right.
Yeah. Now, that's a really big
Kicker
difference.
kicks
Yeah.
with the left foot.
Yes.
Yeah, Glover's a left-footed kicker.
Well, when you're so far ahead in the game, too, I can understand taking one out and putting the other one in and letting him get some experience. But they're great. It was just, I don't know. I kind of got lost in it.
That Swansboro player, by the way, was DeAndre Tompkins.
Oh,
I remember that name.
Oh, yeah, everything around here.
Yes.
All right, we got a caller. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, Deplorable. How you doing?
I knew it was you. Been waiting for your call.
It's all
Hey,
because
Chris.
you're here.
Top of the morning to you there.
You still promoting football?
Oh, yeah.
Legalized brutality? You still promoting that?
Legalized brutality.
Huh?
Legalized brutality.
Yeah.
Pent up aggression.
Listen, did you see the show that CNN had yesterday with Anderson Cooper? How safe is football? Did you see that at 8
CNN? Not
o'clock?
probably.
Anderson Cooper talking about football?
Yeah.
Are you really buying into what that nut says?
It's not safe.
It's
And
not.
you know it.
Yeah,
What's
Anderson
he?
Cooper is not safe. I agree with you.
Anderson
100%.
Cooper's
Okay.
a cricket player.
Legalized brutality. Keep promoting it. How many kids, when you went to the game, how many kids had knee braces and elbow braces?
I saw one
Actually-
cheerleader, and that was it.
Actually, I saw more in the
Seriously.
stands, like older folks that, just having a hard time getting around. But I did almost see a cheerleader get dumped on her head, too, the other night, and that was bad. So I think we need to look into that more head injury thing than we do football.
Yeah.
What do you think? Now, let me ask you this. Have you been to a Cardinal game yet this year?
No.
How many did you go to last year?
I only went to the one that was the championship.
Why do you promote that?
That's it.
Why
So,
did you go to
Lee-
promote that sport? They got your $10 in that game, and that's promoting that legalized brutality.
Yeah. Keep that in mind. Hey, Lee,
Yes.
you
yes.
said you
Lee.
followed the Alex Murdoch case?
Yes.
Did you know how he became
If I remember correctly, it was an injury he had.
Exactly.
Mhm.
It was a knee injury in football. He went and replaced one of his knees, but later on did not do good, so he ended up taking drugs at his age, and he ends up killing his son and his wife. These injuries that these kids get right now follow them till the end. Till the end. When you're in your golden years, Chris, you don't want to take painkillers because you had a knee replacement, a hip replacement, a neck replacement, or a shoulder replacement, whatever you want to call it. These kids suffer it in their golden years. But it's all fun and games right now, you know? It's all fun and games.
Oh,
Did you play football when you were younger?
I played football for 1 year, but I didn't know what I know now.
Did you use a helmet?
Yeah, I had a helmet, of course.
Go ahead, Rayford. Say what you're going to say.
I've never played football, never played any organized sports of any kind. I've had one knee replaced already.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
I did not play football.
Okay, but that only tells you how delicate the body is. You didn't even play football and you got these. Suppose you did play football and you
There's no
caused
winning.
these. Now how are you going to live with it? Talk to them about it, Rayford. You know what you're going through.
I am not an addict. I don't take any.
God.
I don't take any painkillers and pills unless it's for my rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
Theo, can I give you an assignment to do for me and get back with us on your findings? This is serious. Can you look into Joe Biden's past and see if he played football?
Ooh.
Okay. Okay. Hey,
Seriously,
can
let
you
me
do me a
know.
favor? Can you have the Jacksonville, since you're supporting Jacksonville, can you have the Jacksonville nurse come up there? I want to ask her a few questions.
The
See if
school
you can
nurse?
Get her to come in one of your sessions and see. I want to ask her a few questions about this.
The school
okay?
nurse or like the trainer?
Okay. Either the trainer or one of the nurses that knows what's going on with the football players.
Okay.
All right. And Rayford,
Yes, dear.
you forgot to say how many boos the Trump got at the Iowa game. You didn't mention that.
I didn't have a report on any booze that he
Well,
got.
you better check the report out. And let me ask you one more thing.
Yes.
You're talking about your commentary about New Mexico governor. You're the one who says, see something, say something.
Yes.
She saw something and she did something. You think 30 days of a ban is going to ruin the whole thing there? When she's got young people getting killed?
They were not one of those people that was killed or shot. Was shot by a person with a legally possessed or owned gun. In fact, like the kids that came up to the trailer, to the motor home, in 2 stolen cars, and they had guns. They were teenagers. They weren't even supposed to have the guns. And they certainly weren't supposed to be driving at 6 o'clock in the morning with stolen cars, and they sprayed this motor home.
How did they get those guns?
They stole them.
Oh, they stole them.
They did not buy them
They
legally.
stole them because somebody had these guns. Somebody sold these guns, and they were stupid enough and let them get stolen. The other kid, you said he took his father's, okay?
Yes.
Now, you're passing out these guns. You had 2 gun shows this weekend. Oh, no, last weekend you had a gun show. Now you have another gun show. You pass all these guns to these fathers. You think that they're going to keep them safe. They let them loose in the house, and then you have a problem.
By law,
okay?
by
That's
law,
all
there's
you want to know. That's all you want to know, you know?
by
That's
law,
all you care about.
by law, the fathers, the parents are supposed to keep their guns secured.
But they don't do it. They don't do it. Don't you understand that? They don't do it.
And
That's the problem. What are you going to do about it?
arrest them.
That's right. That's the
Arrest
problem.
them. Okay, then go arrest them. Go ahead. Put them all in jail. Lock them up.
If the gun is used in the commission of a violent act, yes, the father is responsible.
Okay, very good. That's your answer. Listen, the governor is doing what she saw. She's doing something about it, and you have a lot of nerve to go against her on something she's trying to avoid of her people getting killed left and right. Okay.
Okay. Now,
so your commentary today was nothing. I know it's your opinion, and keep it to your opinion.
Okay. Now, in no cases was a legally owned or possessed firearm by somebody who could do it was used in the commission of any of these crimes that she's highlighted.
Okay.
Nobody walking the streets of Albuquerque carrying a gun committed any of these crimes. Okay. No, nobody, not one person.
The shooting that you had around the corner. And did you say that 4 kids were firing? They actually fired?
I don't know I don't know whether all of them had guns or not.
No, I thought you said they had guns.
They are charged with possession, contributing, or accessory, or whatever. That's which is standard procedure. You charge everybody.
You don't know if they all had guns. Only one had a gun.
I do not know that one way or the other. We will find out more about this case this week.
It's an investigation. They're investigating and they'll get back to us.
Okay, if they all fired guns, then where's all the gun owners? Nobody was around to fire back. Where's all the good guys?
One guy did fire back. Her boyfriend had a weapon. I don't know, and that's part of the investigation. All that'll come out.
All right, we'll wait for that. But hey, Chris.
Yo.
You know what I'm talking about. You know where I'm coming. I'm a grandfather.
Oh,
I'm
are
not
you?
just taking
You sound so
out of
youthful.
the air. I have pain too.
I do too.
It wasn't from football, but there's a lot of people in pain today at our age, in our golden years. Your golden years could run from 65 when you retire till you're 80. You want to live all those years from pain that you got at football, that you really don't have to do that?
Yeah,
you know,
I know a lot of golden year folks that are living with a lot of pain and never played football.
Me.
Exactly. But why promote it? Why promote it? These kids don't know that the father or the mother goes sign the paper, and then the kid doesn't realize what he's going through because, you know, the kid's excited he's going to play football, maybe win a scholarship and all that BS. Okay? But then when he reaches his golden years, the poor kid now is already gone. They're gone, right?
Yeah.
And signed me up for this. Didn't they know that I was going to have problems like
Theo,
this?
Lee has a question for
We
you.
were late for commercial.
Oh, yeah, we got to get a commercial.
Okay,
Hard break.
all right. I made my point. I'm good to go.
Bye, Theo.
Thank you, Theo.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
To Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Since 1997, locally owned and operated Jersey Mike's 301E Western Boulevard right here in Jacksonville has provided only the best hot and cold subs and healthy salads to our community and our military neighbors, and thanks all our customers for making Jersey Mike's a sub above. Jersey Mike's features hot and cold subs in different sizes, served Mike's way or your way, in addition to delicious, healthy salads. To place your order or for takeout, phone 910-353-8091. Once again, Sam Duran and the staff of Jersey Mike's, 301E Western Boulevard, Jacksonville, thanks you for making them a sub above.
I had a question about my insurance the other day, so I called my new State Farm agent. And would you believe I talked to the same person who remembered my name? They said that was called service. And then they asked if my dog Max was over his cold. They called that service too. And then they helped me find ways to save on my home and auto coverage. I asked State Farm what they called that. They said service.
Call David Hall, State Farm, 910-455-0440, 1218 Country Club Road, Jacksonville.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Moorhead, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
Hurricane season is here, and if you're not prepared, now's the time to visit Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Moorhead Plaza in Moorhead City. Whether for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer, Williams Hardware has the tools and accessories to help protect against high winds and water. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies. Williams Hardware, your helpful, handy hardware store, also cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington Grill for Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Moorhead Plaza in Moorhead City. Williams Hardware is open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158, and be prepared this hurricane season.
It's not for everyone, only for you. The medication your doctor prescribes is exclusively yours to take as directed. Nobody else should be taking it. It's up to you to keep your medication secure and to safely dispose of any unused medications. Don't let anyone take what's yours. Your prescription, your responsibility. Be aware, don't share. Lock your meds.
Supported by NCDHHS, Division of Mental Health, Developmental Disabilities, and Substance Abuse Services. Visit lockyourmeds.org/NC.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
All right, we're asleep. I found the pot and got us up here. Jennifer, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are y'all?
We're hanging in.
I wanted to, Terry and I are sitting here listening to all that conversation, so I wanted just to call in and give like 3 or 4 real quick comments because I know that show's almost over.
Okay.
First of all, I had both of my knees replaced when I was 49 years old. Never played football in my life. Played a couple of good games of kickball. Am not addicted to painkillers because I had my knees replaced and it fixed it.
So you weren't a football star?
I went to the North Topsail ball game Friday night. They spanked Swansboro. It was a good game. One of the granddaughters in the marching band, we went. Didn't have to go through any metal detectors. Didn't see any fights. I believe everybody in Hampstead was at that game. It was a good game. Didn't see any. No football players were injured and carried off of the field or none of that. So I just wanted to call in and weigh in on those couple little little things. And I don't know how the went from Chris talking about football and then the guns and Trump in Ohio and all that, but I just wanted to call in and
Thank you, Jennifer.
say that there's people addicted to painkillers that get in car wrecks or the military get injured. There's all kinds of reasons other than football. So that's just my little opinion on it. And y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Best to Terry. Let's go ahead and take our other break here. We're running a little bit behind time, but we'll be right back here live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
So I want to take some time to talk to you about our friends at Pizza Village of Beulahville. First of all, they take this opportunity to thank our men and women in uniform for their service to our country. And of course, there's no doubt about it, the best spaghetti in Beulahville is at Pizza Village, 811 West Main Street. Pizza Village offers daily specials, and their buffet features pizza, spaghetti, and salad bar. It's a fact. With a down-home atmosphere at no extra charge. And Pizza Village is open Monday through Thursday, 11 to 9:30 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 4:30 to 9:30 p.m. They even have a private room available for special events. Dine just one time at Pizza Village in Beulahville, and you'll be sure to go back. Pizza Village, 811 West Main Street, Beulahville. Again, thanks to those that serve us.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1957. Relax, we're on the way.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less. Down home, down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. A 10-pound bag of fryer leg quarters is only $5.99 a bag. London broiled is only $3.99 a pound. Boneless chicken thighs, $2.99 a pound. Family pack fryer leg quarters, 99 cents a pound. 2-pack pork spare ribs, just $1.49. 10 pounds or more of fresh ground chuck is only $3.79 a pound, and you get a 2-pound bag of bright leaf hot dogs for just $7.99. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, and they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson's Farm chicken. Over in produce, large seedless watermelons, just $4.99 each. White, yellow, or bicolor corn, you get 5 ears for $1.99. Iceberg lettuce, just $1.79 a head. Slicing aroma tomatoes, just $1.59 a pound. How about a 5-pound bag of russet potatoes for just $3.99 a bag? Sweet blueberries are only $2.99 a pint, and you get a 2-pound bag of tangy lemons for just $3.99. And you get 3 6-packs of the 16-ounce size Pepsi for just $11. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, down home, down the street. It's called Sliss on Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the pig.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're up, we're live, we're back here, and what'd you say?
So was that Ashley's famous Piggly Wiggly commercial there?
Yeah, it's one of them.
I love his Piggy Wiggy commercials.
Piggly Wiggly.
And I love the pig, too.
Oh, yeah.
Good food.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
They got good stuff there. I would go by there from time to time and take their food with me back to the marina.
The both of them have good delis now. The one on 258 has a smaller one, but the one in Richland has all the food there. Both of them is excellent. Now, our last caller said we were kind of bouncing around. We're like those running backs that you're supposed to run to this one hole, but all of a sudden there's a ton of congestion there and you see other holes to run to.
Yep.
So we just bounce it out, baby.
There you go.
But she did talk about, we were on the break going to talk more about the incident that happened across the street from White Oak High School, not on school property. It was White Oak students and some things that happened during the day. I've heard all the back and forth, blaming the Board of Education, blaming the school, blaming the Sheriff's Department. And all I know is I went to the game just a couple of days after that, the White Oak Southwest game at White Oak, and I never felt safer in all my life. Plenty of deputies, they were doing what they're supposed to at the gate. All the exits were secure. People weren't, jumping the wall to get in.
Nope.
Kudos to our Sheriff's Department for doing what they do and keeping us as safe as possible. There's things going to happen that they can't control, but Chris Thomas doing a great job there as our sheriff.
Yep, absolutely. And they've got some good people working, real professional individuals, not like the sheriff's offices of yesteryear. We do remember some learned by trial and error too much.
Years
now
ago,
they got some experienced individuals teaching them.
Yep.
And they got some people like Chris Thomas. I mean, God, I've known him since he was a chief deputy over in Pender County.
He's a good old country boy from out in, area, Richlands area out there, but he has been to everything you can go to education-wise. He
worked for the SBI, State Bureau of Investigation.
Yeah.
He's, worked at Jackson.
Narcotics, everything. He's worked every
chief
aspect
of narcotics
of it.
division.
Yes.
So, I mean, the guy's, he's got the credentials, he's got the experience, and a lot of the young people are good for that.
He's educated.
He's educated.
Yes.
Well
he's
educated.
a good person.
And not just education book sense, he's got the common sense to put the rubber to the road too.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, we're keeping our eyes on Hurricane Lee, of course. We're going to get swells. We're going to get some little bit of wind, not a whole lot, mostly swells. Gentle sea breezes for the most part. But we're going to have some rip currents. That's what thank God, that's the only thing we got to worry about from this one.
Yes.
There are three other systems out there. One of them, Margot, is going up and going to go away. It's just not going. It's not a player. The tropical disturbance number 2, is not going to be a player. Tropical disturbance number 1, which just came off the coast of Africa, potential player, 60% chance of formation within 5 days. So that's what.
So the next named storm will be an N storm, right?
LMN, yes.
The one to watch out for is the one behind that one, Ophelia. Those old lady names, look out. Hazel, Ophelia, Camille,
Florence.
Yes, that's Ophelia's the one we need to watch out for.
Okay. Chris, thanks for taking some time coming in this
Thank
morning.
you for coming in.
Sure. I'll talk sports anytime you want to.
Yeah,
it was
We've
fun.
actually bannered it around a couple times about possibly doing a Monday morning quarterback type show, like after your show
That
on
would be
Mondays.
cool.
And any sponsors out there would love to do it. Let the station know, and we'll get it together. And then you talk about everything that happened the weekend before, because by the next Friday, sometimes
You're not talking about
Like
that.
you're
You're
talking about
what's coming up
like
tonight.
preview and
Post-game.
not post-game
show.
analysis.
Yeah, I like that.
We love to do it sometime, maybe.
That would be good. Of course, you could come back and do it at midnight on Friday night after the games.
I'm usually awake anyway. Just watching the Blitz
Sure.
and Brian North, and
there you go.
Oh, I love to watch
Oh, yeah.
Brian North.
Okie dokie. Chris, again, thank you.
Thank you.
Lee, thank you. We'll see you in the morning.
Okay. Be here in the
I'll
morning.
see you at a funeral today shortly.
Yes.
And I want to give one little thing before we go. Everybody have a great week, and look at all the great things that happen, not just all the bad things.
Yep, absolutely.
That's right. Be
And,
positive.
on this date, of course, 22 years ago, one of the worst things that ever happened to this country
Yes.
I think the biggest thing I want to say is be kind.
happened. Yep. Be nice and just be nice. Be kind to people.
Have an epic day.
You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. Fox News is now coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. It's another dose of your daily D's. And at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Rick's going to hand it off to the one, the only Hollywood will be in the house, playing all the tunes that I grew up with.